All right. Hey, everyone. This is Tyler Flynn, also known as the Whedon Fan, and I'm here with my writing partner, Nate Treese.
Oh, hi.
Yes, say hi to the people.
Hello. I don't have an alias. I'm just Nate Treese at the moment. I don't have an alter ego.
We should get him to get his own show, hopefully, sometime in the future, because he is very comedically inclined. But anyway, we're here going to give you some commentary on the first 2 episodes that I've done as the Whedon Fan, the Buffy pilot, also known as Welcome to the Hellmouth and The Harvest. And since this is like an intro to my entire web show, I thought we'd give you some background on how all of this came about and just give you some behind-the-scenes looks at everything. So that is why we're here.
Yep.
And for the 5 of you who are actually listening to this, hi, Mom. We hope you enjoy.
My mom's not listening to this.
I think she would. Your mom's a very lovely lady. She appreciates your hard work.
I don't think she has any idea that this exists. I certainly haven't told her.
I show my mom all my episodes. She likes all my work.
Oh, that's good.
I know. Well, anyway, we should probably get to the...
No, yeah, let's talk about
thing.
Let's talk about the video.
So
this, a lot of work went into this, more so probably than any of the other episodes that there will be in the future, just because of what a long gestating period it had.
Yes.
And also all of the rewrites and
multiple rewrites.
Yeah.
We came up with this idea in the spring of junior year during a break, I think. It was me, Nate, and our friend Jake.
I feel like it was before that. I feel like it was like the summer after your sophomore year.
I think we had mentioned it, but the idea didn't fully form until then. But
right.
Semantics. But anyway, it started junior year at some point, and we had the idea that I'm always talking about Buffy amongst them, and I was obviously such a super fan of the show that they're like, you should make a web series about that. I was like, oh, I think that's a good idea. So,
and our friend Jake, who is also one of the writers on these first 2 episodes, he'll often troll Tyler about his opinions on Buffy and try to poke holes in his theories and stuff. So,
and from me getting flustered, that kind of created the character of the Whedon Fan.
Yeah, it's
because I get very angry when people criticize Johns. They shouldn't do it.
It's uncomfortably close to how he is in real life. If you don't know this man personally,
just slightly less effeminate. Slightly.
Oh well, all right. If you say so.
Yeah. Junior year, we came up with the idea, and at this point, we were still in college, obviously, so I didn't have any equipment whatsoever or know-how. So it basically, over the next 2 years, was a process of writing the script, which we did in your dorm room.
Yeah.
And that took, I don't know how many times we rewrote that first script. At least 5, I would say.
Well, the first couple of scripts you wrote by yourself.
And yeah.
And then and we were looking through them, and a lot of them were full of all these effects and things that we
were
knew,
out of my expertise.
It's
know-how.
We knew they could be done, but they didn't actually didn't know how to do them.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we started getting the idea to film it, he was like, okay, so we're gonna do this, and I would say well, okay, but how? He said, I don't know, that's just something that we'll have to figure out.
Wishful dreams, stop crushing them.
Well, anyway, our first, I don't know, do you still have some of the videos from our first attempts to film?
No, and I wish we did. The first time we filmed was at our friend Jake's house again. We rented a camera from our school's video lab, and we didn't even have a tripod at the time, so we had set up this mountain of books
on textbooks
and a Rubik's Cube on top, and we laid it on a bed and had lights, and I was trying to do something kind of like Nostalgia Critic, because he's one of my major inspirations, but...
Yeah, thatguywiththeglasses.com.
Yeah.
You guys that don't know, watch the Nostalgia Critic
subtle
videos.
Plug.
They're great.
We
want to get on that website.
Please, I want to be paid for this.
Yeah, so go ahead.
But yeah, and I was just really bad in my acting sensibilities at the time, so I had highly underestimated the amount of work that goes into a project like this.
I think at some point anybody who wants to do a web show is going to have that moment where they're like, wait a minute, it's not just sitting in front of a camera and saying stuff with
Being
like little
funny, like
with
little
little to no
clips.
preparation
Yeah.
whatsoever.
No, it actually takes hours upon hours of
Yeah.
work and editing and good foundation of a script.
Yeah.
So anyway, like we had the basic foundation of the script, which, as we said, we redid a couple times, and then that initial video. So I was starting to get some ideas of how the process of putting everything together would work, but it wasn't really until last summer after I graduated from college and I finally got my own Mac and computer and all the equipment I actually needed that I was finally able to put all this together. And you weren't actually expecting it at all. It was kind of the thing where it had been gestating for so long that everyone's like, oh, it's never going to come out of development hell. And then I surprised you all.
Yeah.
Graced you with my awesome genius.
I mean, I was happy to keep working on it because it was fun to write. I just thought it was pretty much going to just be us working on it. It's just, this is our fun thing that we've done. And I enjoy it even if nobody else does. So that's enough for me. And that's all I thought we were going to get.
That's the good thing for me because I don't have to actually pay him to do any of this.
Yeah.
Well, I pay you in Legos. I give you some Legos.
Thanks for those.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really enjoyed like the opportunity of working on it. And what it usually would be was like he's pretty good at coming up with a lot of ideas, I would say. But then there's sometimes too many of them, and there's like the idea of a joke there or something, and it's just got to be like, because I don't know, it's just something that I felt like, because you went to school for journalism, like broadcasting for a while, and then PR.
Yeah.
And so you're really good at the written word, but sometimes it's not quite the same thing when it's actually like something that has to be acted out.
Yeah, it's a very different format of writing.
Yeah.
I'm more like research and essay oriented than actual dialogue. So I put down when we do a script, like you said, I come up with a lot of the jokes and scenes that I want to talk about. And he'll just fine-tune everything. Like, I just make the formation of the clay, and he comes in with the razor, puts all the intricate patterns and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I mean, I'm not saying that...
I think a visual image helps.
Yeah, that's... Like, if... Like, you provide the butter, and I provide the sculpt. I recently watched the movie Butter. That's why I was thinking
Who
about
sculpts
that.
butter?
Apparently, like, it's a big thing in Iowa.
Okay, I could totally see that in Iowa.
Have you seen Butter? I don't. It's a movie with Jennifer Garner and Hugh Jackman and Olivia Wilde and Ty Burrell from Modern Family, and it's supposed to be like a satire of the 2008 Democratic presidential primaries, but butter sculpting instead.
That sounds insanely weird.
It is insanely weird, but it's hilarious. Like Hugh Jackman wears a cowboy hat and pretends to be a guy. Like a car dealership guy, just like a country dude who wears like short sleeve dress shirts.
We go off on tangents a lot, if you haven't noticed.
Well, right.
My mind, as you can see from this frantic style of my videos, my mind is just a mass of pop culture references that I constantly spew.
Yeah. Oh, that last we just passed it, but that clip with the dildo thing.
The
my
steak.
God,
That's my favorite joke.
That turned out really well, but there were so many moments where like there's a joke here, we've got to put something in there, and just for that one, I was like, there's got to be a penis joke in there somewhere, and if we can crack the code, it will get some laughs, and it worked out in the end pretty well. I don't know whether I was the one who ended up suggesting that particular one or not.
I really don't remember at this point.
But I was just really happy that we actually had, because eventually we were like, no, let's just get rid of it. But
that part took the longest to edit too, because I had to put multiple filters on top and everything. But anyway, so this is the finished product, and as you can see, I love using a lot of different movie references to compare everything. So I'll always use like YouTube. I can rip stuff from there, and other ways that I will not mention now because they're probably not entirely legal. But
oh yeah, don't
I don't want to get sued. So
he would have been the one doing that, by the way, not me.
This commentary in no way reflects the opinions of Nathan Treese.
Yeah, I'm just the script doctor. I don't have to deal with that kind of stuff.
So anyway, like we said, I come up with the general template for the script, and if there's any jokes that I can't think of, I'll write in a filler line or something, and then we'll do a web chat. And
yeah, he'll just give me some ideas about
live.
where he wants to go, and he'll just be like, joke about sexual harassment, ? And then I'll be like, all right, I'll try to figure out how to do this. And sometimes I'll have to say, like, no, this doesn't need to be in there. Or sometimes I'll say, like, I like the basic idea here, but I think we need to move it to here. You know, just different things like that. And I'm not saying that I'm like a master of script doctoring after having done it twice. But it's just something that, like, I do a lot of proofing for different like papers and stuff that I've worked on over the years, and I used to make a lot of money in high school just by like proofreading people's papers and suggesting changes and stuff for them.
And no first draft of any project is perfect. I always think it's good to have a second pair of eyes look at things. Like, even besides you, I'll usually have my mom watch the basis of what I'm doing if there's ever a scene, because she's uninitiated to Buffy and all of Joss stuff. So
yeah, it's important to have somebody who like doesn't know anything.
Doesn't
about
have a
it.
background, isn't versed in it. It's like, so you, as someone who does not have any experience with this, would you understand this scene or this joke or something?
Yeah.
So always have someone double check your work. It's good. It helps narrow your focus and make everything tight. Because our first, like I said, our first script had a lot of jokes that were kind of just thrown in there for the sake of being there. And
it was kind of like a Family Guy like style, where it was just like anything that gets a laugh, we'll put it in there. It doesn't matter whether it has anything to do with what we were talking about or not. Yeah. And
the first draft of the script was over 30 pages. I think.
Yeah. So
that's why I had to cut it up into 2 episodes.
Yeah, because originally it was going to be 1 episode, and I think like it was one of those moments where he just was like, "I'm done with the script," and dropped it on like my desk or a table or something, and it actually made the noise, and I was like,
caused a slight crack in the center of the desk.
Yeah. I don't think this is going to be good for
permanent
this
indentation.
Script. Yeah. So that was our first thing, was like realizing we had to break it into 2 videos. And then we also knew that we were going to have to do like a lot of different drafts of the script, and then it was just a matter of, because I won't say I didn't have the time, because if I had wanted to make the time, I could have, but I did not really feel up to learning all of the ins and outs of video editing and audio and stuff. And
I had somewhat of a background in video production. Like I said, I was a broadcast major for a while. I had taken basic video editing classes, but besides that, it was all just YouTube tutorials, and then just going to people who I knew who had experience and asking them, "Hey, can you show me how to do this?" So if you're in college now, I'd highly recommend, if you want to get into something like this, find people who have experience and just get them to show you things, because everyone is generally pretty helpful if you're trying to learn. And then also, for my equipment, here's another tidbit for you. All the stuff I purchased, I did through my school, so they have insane discounts for students. So I got like my MacBook Pro, and my Adobe programs.
It's the old guy.
That's another great joke. All my Adobe programs and my camera, I got it for like $3,000 maybe. So, and it would normally have been like $6,000 to $7,000. So they're insane discounts for college stuff. So if you're trying to do something like that and don't have the equipment, definitely go through a school or a friend who's in school or something.
Yeah, I get a lot of like my software and stuff either through school or just like like people at school, because it's pretty expensive to get different types of programs anyways, but it's always better to get the discounts that you can.
Right.
And all the software you have to use for like video and audio editing is probably even more expensive. So
yeah. In terms of like scene arrangement and stuff, I try to watch the entire season before I review it. Like in this case, with just the pilot, I had the. Oh, that's his voice, by the way.
Yeah,
he did the farmer.
Not my words. I actually grew up very close to a rural area, and so I want you to be aware of the fact that I know that weevils are not interested in corn. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're cotton.
Oh, that's right.
Weevils.
We sang America. They sang about the boll weevil and the cotton.
Yeah.
childhood reference. Anyway.
Yeah. It just was funny to me the way it was written, so I didn't bother. But at the time, I was like, wait a minute. They wouldn't be after.
Semantics.
They wouldn't be after corn.
But anyway, in terms of scenery, like I said, I watched the entire season, or try to watch the entire season of Buffy, because it's a lot to remember specific scenes when editing all this together.
Yeah.
So if I have the knowledge of like the visual reference for everything before I make the episode, I can point out like, okay, I want to highlight this part, and this part, and I can remember which episode it's from. And another great resource for you Buffy and Whedon fans out there, all the Watcher's Guides, 1, 2, and 3, are a fantastic way to keep everything straight, because there's a lot of background information. They have an episode guide, they have a character overviews. It's basically my Bible for whenever I do this.
And where could our viewers find a copy of the Watcher's Guide, Tyler?
Oh, that would be on Amazon.com.
For all your needs.
We're supposed to get $5 in the mail now for that plug, so it should be coming soon, hopefully.
Well, I think we have to let them know that we're going to be doing this.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, the Watcher's Guide, they're the first 2, I believe, are by Christopher Golden. And
who's a really good author.
He's a fantastic author. He's done a lot of the Buffy tie-in books. He also wrote the Monster Book, which is basically all the monsters of Buffy, and they do an entire background of the mythology of the monsters in general. And he also wrote the Sunnydale High Yearbook, which I'll probably do a separate review on because it's so awesome.
And he's like a fantasy and science fiction writer too. He doesn't just do like licensed stuff either. So you should check out
fantastic.
Christopher Golden. That's Christopher Golden. I don't know what his website is.
We just really want money.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to monetize this thing as soon as possible so I don't have to get a real job.
Yeah. So more clips and stuff. It's always fun for me to act in these things. It's probably easier for me to do the cynic because it's just the voice modulation and I'm just being super critical. Because in some ways it's easy to be really critical of, especially season 1, because it is very cheesy in some parts. I love it to death, but it's very a product of the times, a very 90s first season.
Yeah.
But then with the fan, I really, really have to get myself pumped and energized to do all this emoting and screaming and flailing of the arms stuff. So I have to be in the mood, I guess, more. It's kind of like a...
Well, it's funny because when he talks about Buffy and the Whedonverse in real life, he is that animated and excited. And then when he got behind the camera, he was like, I don't remember what to do. I was like, just talk about Joss like you would in real life, because I don't remember how I did that.
It's different. There's a disconnect between the camera world and the real world.
But lest you think that the character of the Whedon fan is too over the top, just meet Tyler in person sometime and just say like, I like that Avengers. What else has Joss Whedon done besides that? That really made his career. Then he'll be like, no, it wasn't that made his career. It was his work on Toy Story.
And all the minutiae, yes. In very high-pitched voice. So.
Yeah. All right. So
we are continuing.
Yeah, we're going to continue
part
into
2.
the next one.
We have to change over the track. So give us a second.
There.
Don't go anywhere. Don't change that channel. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Oh, I don't think you're allowed to say that.
I can say we already mentioned Amazon and
Batman
Christopher
is
Golden.
The property.
So.
The Batman TV show is the property of Fox.
Damn it.
And Warner Brothers, and the music is owned by the music guy.
Yes, we've done all our.
Escapes me.
We've referenced everything, so we can't be sued. Remember that, Fox. All right, we have returned.
And we're
back.
Part
2, The Harvest.
Part 2, The Harvest.
With some wonderful title art by my friend Jen, another friend of ours from college.
Yeah, she's great.
All of the title art that I use for my episodes, whether it be these or the movie vlogs or anything that I'll probably do in the future, has been between about three people, of my artistic friends, and they're all, like I said, very helpful and willing to
and you
things.
You could tell they're really artistic people, because even though it looks awesome to me and Tyler, because we could never do that, they're always like, "Oh, it's terrible. It's just
I should have
threw
worked
together
so much
at the
harder.
last
Like,
minute."
it looks fine. It looks fine.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm also sorry that your free thing that you did for us in in 2 hours is not like the masterpiece you expected it to be. It still looks great. I love the way she draws Buffy, and then the way she draws Tyler with little hearts in his eyes.
Yes, the first title art is very close to my heart, because that took like 2 months for her with schoolwork, and she was just so humble and just very compassionate about the whole thing.
Yeah,
so
she's great.
I
you can go to Jen's
Jen.
DeviantArt at Well, actually, I think
are
we
we
actually
just
have
gonna
that.
do all plugs? Is this whole show gonna
Yeah,
be plugs?
yeah. I need you. Oh, that's one thing. I wanted you to start wearing a Coca-Cola shirt. And
we have officially sold out, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, I throw up all their DeviantArt and Twitter accounts at the end of the thing, so you should check that out. Oh, I forgot to mention for the end of the first episode, I don't know if anyone has caught it yet, but I always do a little parody of the mutant enemy Arg monster. It's at like the last 3 seconds of the video. I don't know if anyone's stuck around long enough to see it, but I'm hoping someone will eventually and call attention to it because I think it's funny and I have to think of a new one every episode.
Yeah, I like those. I don't. Yeah. Do you have any teasers for what the third episode one is going to be?
Not yet. I haven't thought of anything. The first one was Godzilla. The second one was an Elvis thing.
Right.
So still thinking about that. Right. I usually do those the last minute. So
right.
We'll see. I really like this part with the not being able to say the letter S. I thought that was a funny joke.
Yeah.
I feel like the jokes were stronger in this episode than the first one.
Well, yeah. Well, because originally we had like the whole it as one script, and so we had there was an especially good amount of material in like the second half because things like got more intense, but they also got
way down.
They also got pretty silly.
It's kind of like the first episode is a good movie comparison would be Kill Bill Volume 1, where it's all straight up action and
the second
very basic introduction,
more...
and 2 is all like sitting around talking stuff.
Which like if it's Quentin Tarantino's writing, so it's not like you're bored, but it's like it's just very different in tone.
Yeah, different pace.
The Eric Balfour acting quiz.
We rip on Eric Balfour so much.
He's terrible. I mean, he seems like maybe he might be a nice guy in real life, but so is the guy who like runs the Greek restaurant that I go to a lot. But he doesn't try to be an actor.
That is true. I couldn't fit it in, but there's one commercial that Eric Balfour did in I think the early 2000s.
Cologne? Oh
that cologne thing where he has like a porn mustache.
He's got a porn mustache.
And like a wife beater, and he's all sweaty. It's just it's
like
so
disconcerting.
Isn't he
like leaning on the hood of a car or something, and then he's like,
"I want you, I want you."
And everyone's just like, "No, I'm
if
good.
I ever meet him in real life, he's gonna hate me. I don't know if he'll actually see this, but
he seems like the kind of guy who might actually be like, "What's the internet saying about my acting today?" Oh,
he's on that show Safe Haven, I think now.
Is he?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, he was actually at New York. They had a booth for it at New York Comic Con. I don't know if he was there.
Yeah.
But...
Well, and that airs on Wednesdays at.
No more plugs. God.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, 90s computer. I think and it's not even like you have yet to begin to see how much they like overuse the whole like I can hack into the thing. Like it's so overused, especially in the early couple of seasons when people still like didn't know what computers could do.
Or especially in episode 8 with the computer demon.
Oh yeah, I'll
save that for the actual review.
Yeah, because that's going to be. You're talking about that next episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
will be an entire rant from the cynics. So stay tuned. It's with the computer. It's actually really like it brings you out of the element because you become so used to it in the first 4 to 5 seasons, and then in season 7 when they actually get into like the early 2000s and Willow starts using a laptop, it's like whoa. They've upgraded so much.
Yeah, I know.
I'm used to these big hulking desktops that still use dial-up.
Yeah, yeah.
Xander's shirt.
I know. I know. I would not ever wear something like that. I have a collection of like Bruce Campbell and Burn Notice type shirts. Like I think I'm wearing one right now actually. Mm-hmm. I enjoy it, but there are limits. I
mean, he is a high school student with no sense of taste at all. But still, it's just.
That's one thing that I always found was crazy about the show because he's a really good looking guy, and it's really tough to hide that. He's tall. They never had him like look like weak or anything. You know, he's taller than most of the quote unquote bullies on the show to begin with.
And he's actually ripped. In season 2, the one episode where he joins the swim team, he has nice muscle tone.
He's ripped.
and they're like, "Oh, you're such a nerd," but
they're like, "No, wearing a Speedo." He looks great.
Anyone with his looks and sense of humor would be the most popular person in school instantly.
I mean, it shows like I just saw online people are making fun of the new Carrie movie with Chloe Moretz. I love her. She's great, but it's like, so is the reason why everyone hates her and like calls her a freak and stuff because she's like way more gorgeous than everybody else in the school? Because like Sissy Spacek had this like weird like alien quality about her.
Strange in general.
Yeah, like even now, like her roles are mostly like the kooky old nana and that kind of thing. Like she just has this like really like bug-eyed like what's she gonna do kind of look about her, and I like Chloe Moretz, but she does not. She just looks like a cute girl, you know, who's really nice.
Tangents.
I'm just saying. Like that's the same kind of thing you see here, where it's like, oh, everyone's so beautiful.
Even Willow, I mean, she dresses like a Quaker schoolgirl this entire first season. She starts to get more sense of a fashion in like season 3 and 4, but right now she just looks like she's in middle school still. It's so adorable, but just the clothing choices on some of these characters is a little odd.
Yeah.
The tunnels.
Oh, yeah.
The dark tunnels. This is probably my favorite joke from this episode, the whole Scooby-Doo thing.
Oh, yeah,
That was really clever. Audio transition.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf is good too, though.
Oh yeah, the Shia LaBeouf one is good because, you know, I mean, it's a good way of adding urgency to a situation. Just yelling no and running really fast somewhere. You don't have to make any other acting choices because you don't have time to do anything but run around and yell no all the time.
Pretty much.
Yep.
And now they're trapped in the cave, and the second reveal.
Oh no. Now,
the makeup was inspired by Lost Boys. If you've seen that movie, you know that when they become the vampires, there's the ridges on their forehead, but Joss wanted to make it more prominent.
It's a good way of making them seem more
animalistic.
bizarre looking. Yeah, and that's one thing too that I mean because I will not you don't see it as much in the first couple of episodes, but it's not like they don't sex up the male vampires on this show, but they do a better job of making them seem like savage and animalistic when they actually like are vampires. It's not just this like, oh, I've got slightly longer canine teeth than the average person.
I wear leather jackets and have my one ear pierced. I'm so terrified.
It's not like that Lestat. Like, what's the name of Brad Pitt's character on
Louis.
Yeah. It's not like that Louis and Lestat and Antonio Banderas kind of thing where they're all just like these really steamy-looking guys.
Just pale with longer fingernails.
Yeah, long hair, and then there's like a strand of hair falling across their face, and they're just like gorgeous looking. Like, they are, like, the makeup is really good at making them seem like they're monsters. You know, you
generally the makeup on this show is very well done.
Although
I've always usually been impressed with what they've tried to do.
Although, like in the first season, like you'll notice in the first season, the effect for doing the dusting when they like stab them, it is very subpar.
Yeah, they were just getting into computer technology effects at that point, so it gets better as they go along. But
yeah, it does.
It's a little hackneyed at that point. But
yeah.
What else can we talk about the background of this? I feel like we should.
Oh, the background, right? Well,
we need to tell them more about us.
Yeah,
we're the most important.
You guys
things in the
haven't
room.
been hearing enough about us at the moment.
So we are the most humble people here too.
Well, I should point out we are the only two people in this room as we record right now. So none of that.
There's a rapt audience sitting behind us.
Oh yeah, we're recording this live from Comic-Con.
Yes. So
a Comic-Con.
We didn't say which.
Yeah.
So
don't Google it. Well, let's see. We determined like after he graduated and moved back home, the rest of us sort of kind of moved on a little bit, but he and I determined that we were going to continue to communicate stuff via...
That's my other favorite joke. I really like the meatloaf joke. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean...
I'm not apologizing. This is my show.
Yeah, it shouldn't just be commentary. I mean, it can be a commentary on what's actually happening, too. It doesn't have to just be about us. So, I decided I was going to, like, still keep in touch so that we could, like I mean, also because we're friends.
We're friends. Besides that.
But more importantly, so that we could communicate with one another about the script. And thanks to
the wonder of Google Plus.
Google Plus, like the Google Plus group chats, and we both have Google Drive available for free if you go to google.com.
How did I know you were going to do that?
You can. It does really make it easy to share the scripts and look at it, and we can kind of both like make edits to it in real time. So it's kind of cool that way.
It's better than Skype because you can actually have more than 3 people in a chat and still see everyone's face. Like Skype, you have to buy the premium mode or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you want to do group chats, do Google Plus.
That's good.
Another plug.
Yeah.
I stole that clip or joke from Red Letter Media. That's probably my all-time favorite inspiration. The episode 1 Phantom Menace Mr. Plinkett review. I've watched that probably more times than the actual movie itself.
I know I have.
Good.
I know I have.
Mr. Plinkett, you are my hero, and that is the basis for how I try to craft all my commentary. It should be that engaging, be that rapid fire in its jokes, and just be very analytical.
Well, no, it's a balance of like analytical, like show, like actually explaining stuff about the show and the background behind the show and like the philosophy behind everything, but also being funny too.
Right.
Like that's because that's what Plinkett does, and that's also what they do over at on a lot of the Guy with the Glasses websites. They look at it. And they make jokes about it, but then they'll also like tell you like this is bad, but this is the reason why it's bad.
It's always easy to criticize something, but it's very difficult to propose an alternative. So you have to try to keep it engaging and get the audience invested in the characters and the story, but then show why this may not have worked in this case for so and so reason.
Right.
So. Right.
Like if you've watched the movie reviews that he does. On the site, that's not me, by the way. That's with him. I would like to be that thin, but that is.
Although you both have beards.
That's true.
And almost the same skin or hair color, so.
So I could just be like, hey, I'm Tim. I've gained several hundred pounds in the last two days. Mm. And that's something that I like about your movie reviews is that you guys talk about like what you would have changed to, which I think is and R.I.P. Roger Ebert too. I think we need to
let's all give a big thumbs up for Roger Ebert.
Like I really I can't say I agreed with all of his stuff because I don't, but I love each and every one of his reviews just for the way they're written and
very
for the
insightful man.
Yeah,
a great American hero.
No, that's maybe a little too much.
I would say so.
A hero. He's a cultural
icon.
Yeah.
Icon.
That's better.
There's a couple from the scene earlier when they're in the bronze. There's a couple mistakes with the vampires because when Buffy stakes like the one with the pool cue, you hear a body go thump, and they would just dissolve into dust, so there'd be no body.
Well,
and in the very first episode, when she stakes the couple with the tree branch, you also hear it. So.
Well, it's not like the dusting is consistent though. Like sometimes
they reused that exterior shot of the school like several times.
All the time, and they
footage.
and like the Dutch angle of them walking too. Like that was something that not that particular shot, but for some reason they love having them like walk the corridor. In the first season, they love having them walk the corridors in Dutch angles. I don't know why. I don't really see the appeal, but whatevs.
Poor Jesse. And as Xander's stake disappears for some reason when Jesse gets dusted. It just poof. I don't know why.
Maybe it was like it was made from like a really soft wood, like a balsa wood stake or something.
Like the reverb from the explosion of dust to cause it to disintegrate.
Yeah.
I love Sarah Michelle Gellar with that lollipop for some reason. It's so cute and adorable.
It is adorable.
She actually has a lollipop in the season 2 flashback episode
where they show her. Yeah, it's like Joss Whedon's version of what
the movie
should have been. Yeah.
All right, we only have 50 seconds left, so I feel like we should wrap this up.
Okay. Well, where can they follow you on Twitter, Tyler?
You can follow me at the Whedon Fan, and I also, of course, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/the Whedon Fan 1, no spaces, the number 1. And Facebook, just look up the Whedon Fan. I have a fan page. And Nate.
And you follow me at Nate Treese. That's TREESE. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I don't do, like, a whole lot of stuff on either of those, but I try to occasionally have funny stuff. And also at the natezone.wordpress.com.
Yes, he has a blog, which is very good. I don't think he posted in a while, but
no, but I'm doing something
articles.
cool about I'm doing something cool about the '80s movie Krull, so look forward to that.
Ooh.
All right, guys. Well,
here's the parody.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
end
get
with
ready
this.
for it.
Here we
End this all
go.
in. Bye, everybody.
See ya.